Okay, this is the beginner session. In these sessions we're going to be covering the real basics, what you need to get started. So if you're new to all of this and you're wondering, well, where do I really begin? How am I going to start? These are the sessions for you. And in this first session, we're going to be talking about how to do a paper trade. We want to be able to record what we do. This is so you can practice without having to put real money on the line. And that's what you want to do when you start off with. You've got to practice, you've got to check you've understood this and that you're doing well. There's no point in starting with real money until you've proved that you can make money paper trading. Now, there's quite a few different things come into play when you start with real money, mainly your emotions, but you've got to have mastered paper trading. Once you can do it on paper and you're making money and you're consistently, on average, making money, of course, you're not going to win every trade. Nobody does. But as long as on average, from your paper trades, you're making a profit, then that's good. You're ready to start with real money. So this is what we need to do first of all, the paper trading bit. And I'm going to explain now, and I'm actually going to show you for real exactly how to do this. So you're going to know precisely what to do for doing your paper trades. So let's begin. First of all, steps for doing a paper trade. It's actually very, very simple. Number one, you've got to get some charting software. You can't really do much with the stock market without charting software, because otherwise you can't do your analysis. Now, there's lots of free charting software out there on the internet. Lots of free websites, free charting software. And to find that, all you do is type into a search engine, type in something like free charting software. And then you can type in the country that you're interested in. So free charting software UK or free charting software USA. And you'll find loads and loads of different ones. Now, which are the best? There isn't really a best. They're all different. They all allow you to do different things. Have a play, find one you like, and then you can start that way. Now, those of you who already tried these free software, you'll know there's quite a few drawbacks to using them. And they tend to be fairly limited in what you can do. So ultimately, once you get into this, you really want to buy some software. You want to get some good software, and it doesn't have to be very expensive. If you want very good software, it is usually about £100 a month. Some's a lot more expensive than that, but you can get excellent software for about £100 a month, and it can be cheaper than that. But you need to get some decent software. You don't need it to start off with, but have a look out there, see what you like. If you're interested in the software that I use, I actually looked around at all the different softwares over about, I don't know, 10 years at least. I've eventually found one that I love, does everything I need. If you're interested in that, I've just put the link up on the video site, so you can click there and have a read about it. That actually comes preloaded with all my indicators and everything that I use. It's actually specifically been written with all the bits that I use in it. So if you want to use that, then great, have a read, see what you can do. I think they're actually offering a 30-day money-back trial, so you can actually try it risk-free for 30 days. But have a read. It is very, very good software. Anyway, so you've got to get your charting software. Once you've got your charting software, either your free website or some software that you bought, what do? You need to get a list of shares that you want to analyze, that you want to look at. Now, you could either just get the list of, let's say, the FTSE 100, which is the UK main market, the FTSE 100. How would you find a list of the FTSE 100 shares? You type into a Google search engine, FTSE 100 list, I should think, and that will probably give you a website that lists all of the shares. And then you can print that off, and you've got a list of all the ticker symbols that you can type into the chart software. If you wanted to do this for America, maybe you start with the S&P 100, Standard & Poor's 100. And again, just type into a search engine S&P 100 list, and it'll probably come up with a list. It should be very easy to find. And once you've got a list of shares, or maybe you just know some shares. You just know some companies you're interested in. You want to look at some UK companies or some US companies. Doesn't really matter. Just get any shares that you want to have a look at. So Step number 1, get your charting software. Step number 2, get a list of shares you want to look at. Step number 3, find a share you'd want to buy. Now, ideally, you want to be able to pull the chart back in time. So you're looking at old data, historic data, maybe a year ago. Because what you're going to do is you're going to analyze charts based on what happened a year ago, and you're going to say which ones you would have bought. Now, by doing it this way, it means you can get immediate feedback, because you can then step the chart forwards in time, and you can see what happened and see if you got it right, and you can record the results. So ideally, you want to be able to pull the chart back in time. Now, this is one of the drawbacks with most of the free software online. You usually can't pull the charts back, which is fine. You can still do this. What you do instead is you'd look through the charts and based on where they were now, and you'd write down which ones you'd buy, and then you just wait. You wait the next 1-2 weeks, and you see what happened, and you record where you would have sold. Just means you've got to wait a bit of time to see the result, but you can still do this. It's absolutely fine. So you find a share that you want to buy by doing your analysis. You go through your list of shares, looking at each one, ideally a year back in time, and you find one you would have bought. What do you do once you found the share you would have bought? You record the information about when you would have bought it. So things like the price you would have bought it at, the date, the reasons you would have bought it, the company name. You print off a chart of what the chart looks like, or you do a screenshot, which I'm going to show you in a second, and you record all that information, because you're going to learn from this. By doing it this way, it's a very good way to accelerate your learning, and you'll be learning very fast. And by looking at a chart when you bought and when you sold, you spot lots of things where you say, I could have improved things there. I could have done this a bit different. So this is what I did when I first started out. I still do it now, but not all the time. But I used to record every single trade that I was doing this way. Paper trades, and then when I started real trading, real trades. Fantastic way to learn and get good fast. And you're doing it completely risk-free, because you're paper trading. You're not actually trading with real money. You're just writing this down. So fantastic way to start. So you record all the information about when you'd buy. You then record the information about when you would have sold it. Exactly the same way. Price you would have sold, date you would have sold, reason you would have sold. Print out a chart of when you would have sold. And then I've added something that I was doing where I'd say lesson learnt, and I'd write down the lesson I learnt. Either something I'd done well or something I'd missed that I should have done instead. Fantastic way to learn. So if you're just beginning, just getting started, you definitely need to do this. Now, I guess the best way to go about this is for me to show you it for real. So let's go to the charting software. Let's do this for real.